welcome to my channel, What's Good on TV. I am down here to give my review of Sister Wives, How the Mighty Have Fallen, which is season 19, episode 3. So I'm excited to review this show. I've been watching Sister Wives for years now, and I am ready to join the conversation. So when we first open up this show, we see Christine is there with Tony and her daughter Mykelti, and she's with her sweet new grandbabies, and they're twins, and she's holding both of them, and it just looks like the sweetest moment ever. And Mykelti is there, and they're exhausted, her and her husband, from taking care of newborn babies, and it brought back sweet, fond kind of sort of memories of being in that kind of sweet exhaustion with babies, and family is around and trying to help out. And so Christine is there to help as the new grandma, and I think she refers to herself as the Uma, which is really sweet. And Robin is also there to help. Robin has been staying there, I think, for the past week. And they talk about how Robin is staying or sleeping in their closet. And they scan over and they show how she's sleeping on a little mat on the closet floor, which, I don't know why but she said it was easier to help out by sleeping on the floor in the closet. So whenever the babies need something, she'd pop out the closet and then go back into the closet with the baby and then pop back out and give them the baby when she's done. So she's like a genie in a bottle, just popping out. And after a while, we see Robin kind of comes in and they're kind of praising her for, showing up and sleeping in the closet, and she's doing the very humble, but of course, I'm great. And Christine and Robin are really kind of cordial with each other, even though they're no longer sister wives and, some hurt feelings and whatnot. I think they did a really nice job of keeping it sweet. And so they just kind of chat. Robin has on her t-shirt that says Mama, and then it has a bear, and I was like, I need one of those t-shirts. And so that is how the show kind of opens up. They tell a story about Avalon, who is the daughter of Kelty and Tony, and she's only 2 and so cute. And they're telling the story about how she came in and saw Daddy holding one twin and the mom holding the other twin. She started to cry because now she's not the only one anymore. And so they're talking about how they're going to have to love on her a little bit more and help her with that transition. And that's a lot. We also see Mykelti and Tony, they do a confessional. And I'm going to say, Mykelti looks amazing in her confessional. And she's talking about, what she experienced from recovering from her C-section. And, we've also saw what she looked like the day when they were all home. And, I don't know why they produce it this way, because we know it's 2 years ago that all of this happened. So instead of having them talk as if it's present day, like, oh, I was so sore from my C-section, why not film it like a documentary and just have her say things like in the past tense? I remember that. I was so sore. It was so nice. Maybe even now that she's had some distance, what are her new insights? Because we can see that this Mykelti is not the same Mykelti that is in the picture with the newborns. So we can handle us, knowing that, oh, this is 2 years ago, and now this is what she looks like. But she looks amazing. I was like, whatever y'all take and sell me some, because it's hard to lose weight. So they also went on, and Tony kind of tells this story about how Robin is a prophet and can tell when babies poop, and they could have kept that. That is one of the stories that could have ended up on the floor. It was like, okay, great. They go on and they start talking about the holidays, getting ready to be Thanksgiving. So they're kind of going over everyone's plans. And we get to see Mary. And Mary is saying, at first she's saying she may go to Las Vegas, but then she was also invited to Robin's house for Thanksgiving. And I'm like, where they do that at? Where do you go to your ex's house to see him all lovey-dovey with the one he chose? But anyway, Robin invites her over for Thanksgiving, and she declines. And she explains that, she really doesn't want to do that. And she elaborates on how Cody used to say that he couldn't express his love and affection for Robin with her around, and she doesn't want to interfere with that. So she's just going to have her very own. But it turns out it looks like she ended up spending Thanksgiving by herself because she got sick. And that's kind of sad to think about someone spending Thanksgiving by themselves. But I also kind of think, you know, that really may have been a choice she made because she was sick. Because she comes from a plural family. So I'm sure she has like 100 uncles and a bunch of aunts and cousins and brothers and sisters and her own child. So I'm sure also she has the friends you see on the show. So if she's alone for Thanksgiving, I'm hoping it was really by choice and not by lack of connection. And so we also see what Christine is planning her Thanksgiving and Janelle. So for Christine and Janelle, it really looks like somebody put up the camera in the corner and just kind of grabbed some footage, and there was some voiceover. There's no like scene for us to really kind of take in. So, but we gather that Christine has most of her kids at her house and she has a good crowd and she's excited to celebrate the holidays. And Janelle is going to her son's house. She's going to Logan's house with them. Logan has a new wife and they're going over there. And Peyton, who is actually Christine's son, is going over to Logan's house as well for Thanksgiving. And so you just kind of see them milling around. You don't really see a scene or anything like that. That I did think they could have given us something else. You also see Cody and Robin preparing for their Thanksgiving, and they're kind of reminiscing about old Thanksgivings or past Thanksgivings. And there's a clip where we see them having a Thanksgiving with like 50 people in their house. It's amazing. It's a ton of people. And so Cody's talking about how great it was to have big Thanksgivings, and now it's just the 7 of them. And he doesn't seem quite as happy or joyful to be around the table with the 7 that he chose, right? These are the ones that you chose. You gave favor to. This is the ones you wanted. So I don't know. I know what they're going through is hard and it's sad. But at the same time, it's like, sir, you didn't want these other women. So why are you crying? Because they don't want to come around and look through the gate of your happiness. I mean, be happy with what you chose. But they show them having Thanksgiving. And they actually look, they have a nice Thanksgiving. Except for, Cody is, sad mouthing and Robin is looking all like, well, I'm so sad. I miss all the others. I'm sure you do. But choices. Anyway, Janelle also talks about, again, she repeats the original vision of the family is for them to be one big family. How many times? Y'all gonna tell us? We get it. We know what the original vision was. Let's move forward. So we also get a chance to see Christine folding laundry and talking about her new day. And I think they must have shown that to us 3 different ways. And it gives the feeling of we got to take up some time. So you see Christine folding laundry and she's talking about going out on her date with David and how beautiful his eyes was and how excited she was. And she's a little giggly and, excited and you're happy for her. But we can skip forward because we know y'all together. And so she's talking about, meeting David. We switch over to Janelle. We see Janelle out raking leaves. I mean, they show us these people doing nothing. We see Janelle out raking leaves. And honestly, I think she's raking leaves. I think it's old footage. I think it's footage from when she lived in, it looks like the house that she lived in before she moved to the RV. And I'm like, so y'all using old footage and having them voice over? Oh, okay. So Janelle is saying how she's not interested in dating, that she is just wanting to explore all of her options. She wants to travel, do what she want to do, when she want to do it, enjoy herself. I was like, yes, Janelle, show us what it's like. Live your best life. Some people cannot imagine that you can actually be happy without a man in your life. But trust. Jonette, show us, girl. Show us, live your best life. Show us what it looked like. I am here for it. So that's kind of where they are. They show us that those parts of them dating. Then we kind of get this ominous kind of black screen with white letters, and it tells us that there's been some arguing between Cody and Robin. They've had an argument, and Cody had to go for a drive right before production came. And you see Cody driving, and I'm like, he bet not be going to Coyote Pass. I'm tired of seeing them out there looking at those trees and the mountain. Do not go to, don't you show me him at Coyote Pass. But they did. They show us him coming back. So he has text Robin, hey Robin, I'm about home. So Robin puts on her gloves and her hat and her coat. She goes outside because they need to talk. Why can't we go in the house? Why can't we go in the house? We will be behaved. But no, they stand outside in the cold so they can have this argument and miss me with they didn't want the kids. It's a big house. Go in the bedroom. You're not yelling. So go in the bedroom and have the chat. But no, they stand outside in the snow, turn it on red to kind of have this discussion about what it is that is the problem. So we find out, and when I tell you the last 20 minutes of the show, maybe even more of the show was this argument. That is the gospel truth. And it's a little bit meandering, watching them kind of go around and around. I wanted them to show us something, and yet I'm still not happy. This is not what I want to see. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm not going to go into the dialogue of the argument. I'm just going to give you the boiled down version of what this argument is about. So basically, Robin is trying to get Cody to reach out to his children, to stay in contact with his children. And so she is really pushing for, you have to be the one to reach out. Cody is saying these children are disrespectful toward him. They show him contempt. They are blaming him for things that he did not do. They are punishing him. And he is not going to keep reaching out if they're not going to reach back. And so he is saying, I'm not going to keep doing it. I'm hurt. I am hurt. I am hurt. They don't understand. They're not being fair to me. Cody, some things that were revealed in the argument. Well, Cody uses a lot of heavy words in the argument. Like he says they're colluding against me. They are purposely leaving me out and punishing me for things that is not my fault. And so it's like, words have meanings, and you putting a lot of heavy words on some things. Some people got hurt, but maybe there's a way forward. And so Robin is trying to push him to be the one to beat the path forward to healing the family and, trying to heal those things. And so some of the things that we learn is that Cody does say, I made 2 huge mistakes. Cody says, I made a mistake when I said, I want these boys to move out. And he said, I made a mistake when I didn't go to Isabel's surgery. So in case you don't know, one of his daughters, Isabel, had to have a spinal surgery. And because of COVID, that's the reason why he didn't go. And he could have went and been there for his daughter. And apparently not going to his daughter's surgery has caused him bad blood, as you can imagine, between him and some of his kids. And that's a hard thing. That made me not like Cody. Now, I did wonder, because I didn't hear him say he was sorry. He said, I made 2 huge mistakes. And I did not hear him say, I am sorry, I have apologized, I keep apologizing, I'm trying to figure out how to make this right. He just said I made 2 huge mistakes. And I could see why some of the siblings, other mothers would have feelings about not understanding that or trusting that or believing that. And so he did admit to those 2 huge mistakes. The other thing that we learned is that Robin, apparently her father, when her parents divorced, her father went and made another family and was not in her life. And so Cody is saying, is it because of your father that you are kind of judging me about this? I am not him. And so she gets really emotional, as she does. And, but because of what she experienced, she is saying fathers are important and you have got to reach out. And so she is really pushing, you have got to reach out. Now, here's the thing I wonder. Has she always been this adamant? Has she always said, you got to reach out to these kids, you got to get in your kids' lives, you got to get out, you got to get ahead of this? When Isabel needed her surgery, was she saying, Cody, you got to go, you should go, why don't you go, you need to go, you should be there, you got to be there? Were you as adamant then as you are now with these cameras rolling? The other thing I kind of wondered about is we get to hear how Cody feels he's being treated and what he thinks they are doing, but you don't really hear it from the kids. Some of the mothers, have tried to say a little bit about this is how the kids see it, but you don't really hear from them. And the kids aren't on the payroll, so they're probably like, nah. But I would be curious to hear, what is their take on it? What, because we hear Cody's side, but what is it that they feel is the grievous error? So we learn those two things. We also hear Cody say that because Robin says, well, can't you pray? Can't you pray and get help from God? And Cody says he has lost his religion, which is really, really sad, which is, a really hard thing to go through when you feel like you can't even pray. Now, I did get to wondering because Robin has always made it real clear that she is very devout and that she first fell in love with Cody because of how he was with his children. And now that Cody is not so devout and is not having good relationships with his children, for which she said, I am losing respect for you. That's something we saw in all the previews where she tells Cody, I am losing respect for you because he is not fighting for the relationship with his children. Is she kind of laying the groundwork a little bit for, okay, we can see why you didn't leave. Because if this man ain't the man that you fell in love with fighting for his kids and he's not religious anymore, she may not have common ground with him. She might be looking for, okay, where's my exit? I'm not going to be the only one left here with him. But I also wondered too when she said she was kind of losing respect. Did you not lose respect for him when he didn't show up at his daughter's surgery, but he was also out here running in these streets and other places? Did you not lose a little bit of respect for him then? But they ain't really get to that. But anyway, they kind of keep arguing. They go back and forth, and he is making an argument for how he hasn't done a thing so bad, except for I don't know how many times this man said, they're only mad at me because I ain't love their mama. I'm like, sir, stop saying that. This is why they don't like you. They're just mad because I am not madly in love with their mothers. And I'm like, that's why they don't like you. You can't keep saying stuff like that about their mamas. And the other reason why they may have a problem with you, sir, other than you trying to put them out during COVID and you not showing up for their sister during the surgery, is they have probably watched the show and heard the horrible things you said about their mothers. That's terrible. They're going to have an issue with you. No wonder they called you a whole a-hole, sir. No, stop talking about their mamas and how you didn't love them. And then he goes on and they keep arguing back and forth. And it hits the ear a little bit like, I have chosen you. Because he's like, I'm not going to sit down and have them trash talk you. And they're only mad because I'm here with you. And, I was like, it kind of rings a little bit of, and you, Robin, I have chosen you. You are the chosen one, and they can all kick rocks. And therein lies the problem. So, again, this episode, when you boil it down, we really didn't, it's not a whole lot, really. Not, especially if you watch other reality shows. Basically, we got to see them with the twins and how they're managing with the twins. We see what they did for past Thanksgiving, and we kind of learned about her dating, about Christine dating, and we saw the fight. So, and the fight was almost half of the show. It's them standing in the snow, kind of going at it. So that's it. But I will keep watching. I will keep watching. And if you are still here, thank you you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Please leave a comment. Tell me what you think about Cody and Robin's argument. If you think Robin is trying to lay some groundwork for how she too can skip on out. And if you feel like these kids, maybe you do feel like these kids are being too hard on them. I'd like to hear your opinion. So anyway, comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Take care.